Question 996. When the monthly payments on an adjustable rate mortgage are not enough to cover interest charges, what occurs is A. A lower loan-to-value ratio. B. Foreclosure by the lender. C. The entire loan balance becomes due. D. Negative amortization. Correct answer is D. Negative amortization. The loan-to-value, LTV, ratio is the loan amount divided by the property's value. Negative amortization actually increases the loan amount, which would increase the LTV ratio, not lower it. Negative amortization can lead to financial difficulties and potentially increase the risk of foreclosure in the long run. It doesn't automatically trigger foreclosure. Foreclosure typically occurs when the borrower defaults on their payments. The entire loan balance becomes due means that the full remaining amount of the loan, including the principal and any accrued interest, must be paid immediately. This is also known as acceleration, not a direct consequence of negative amortization, which can be triggered by default or other specific events outlined in the loan agreement. Negative amortization occurs when the monthly payments on a loan are insufficient to cover the accruing interest. The unpaid interest is then added to the principal balance, causing the loan amount to increase over time instead of decrease. This is a common feature of some adjustable rate mortgages, ARMs, particularly those with low initial teaser rates. Question 997. The requirement for informing the public about the sexual offender database is based on A. Agency disclosure. B. Megan's Law. C. Mello-Roos. D. Statute of limitations. Correct answer is B. Megan's Law. Agency disclosure in real estate refers to the requirement for agents to disclose who they represent in a transaction, buyer, seller, or both. Mello-Roos is a special tax assessment in California used to finance public improvements and services. Statute of limitations is a legal time limit within which a lawsuit may be filed. After the statute of limitations has expired, a lawsuit can no longer be brought to court. Megan's Law is federal legislation that requires law enforcement agencies to make information about registered sex offenders available to the public. The purpose is to increase public safety by providing communities with information about individuals who have been convicted of sex crimes. Megan's Law, named after Megan Kanka, a young girl who was murdered by a previously convicted sex offender. Question 998. A license differs from an easement in the following ways, except A. It can be terminated at will. B. It is a personal right that cannot run with the land. C. It cannot pass to others. D. It can run with the land and can be passed to others. Correct answer is D. It can run with the land and can be passed to others. A license is a personal, revocable privilege to enter or use another person's property for a specific purpose. It's temporary and doesn't create an interest in the land itself. An easement, on the other hand, is a non-possessory right to use another's land for a specific purpose. It creates an interest in the land and can run with the land, meaning it transfers with the property when it's sold. Question 999. A lender agrees to finance the construction of a subdivision which will comprise 25 homes. The lender advances some of the funds to the developer as building commences, and then a specified additional amount as each home is completed and the construction of a new one begins. The term for such specified additional amounts is A. Partial payments. B. Obligatory advances. C. Pay-as-you-go. D. Reconveyance funds. Correct answer is B. Obligatory advances. The scenario describes a typical construction loan or development loan. In these types of loans, the lender does not disburse the entire loan amount up front. Instead, funds are released in stages as construction progresses and specific milestones are met. The term for such specified additional amounts advanced by the lender as construction objectives are achieved is obligatory advances. These are funds that the lender is legally obligated to provide to the borrower, developer, as certain conditions or stages of completion outlined in the loan agreement are met. This staggered disbursement method protects the lender by ensuring that funds are tied directly to the increasing value of the property under construction. Question 1000. A broker acting as an agent for a principal can exert as much authority as A. Detailed by the real estate law, B. The principal actually or ostensibly gives to her, C. The broker asks for, D. As possessed by the agent for the other principal involved in the transaction. Correct answer is B. The principal actually or ostensibly gives to her. Actual authority is the authority that the principal directly grants to the agent, either expressly, through written or verbal instructions in the agency agreement, or impliedly, authority necessary to carry out the express authority. Ostensible authority, or apparent authority, is the authority that a third party, like a buyer or seller, reasonably believes the agent has, based on the principal's words, conduct, or inaction. Even if the principal didn't explicitly grant this authority, they may be bound by the agent's actions if they led a third party to reasonably believe the agent had the power to act. The agent's power to bind the principal always stems from the principal's actions or declarations, not from the agent's own desires or external laws defining general brokerage activities. Question 1001. California's Consumer Recovery Account pays a maximum per transaction of A. $10,000, B. $50,000, C. $100,000, D. There is no monetary limit on refunds. The California Real Estate Consumer Recovery Account is a fund designed to protect the public. It was established to compensate individuals who experience financial losses. This happens when the losses are due to a licensed real estate professional's fraudulent or wrongful actions. The maximum payment for any single transaction is $50,000. The maximum amount that can be paid out against any one licensee, regardless of the number of transactions, is $250,000. This fund offers financial protection to those negatively impacted by dishonest real estate professionals. Question 1002. The income approach to appraisal is based on all the following principles, except A. Substitution, B. Addition, C. Comparison, D. Anticipation. Correct answer is B. Addition. The income approach to appraisal values a property based on the income it is expected to generate. It relies on the following principles. 1. Substitution. This principle states that a prudent buyer will pay no more for a property than they would pay for a comparable substitute. In the income approach, this means comparing the income potential of similar properties. 2. Anticipation. This principle suggests that value is based on the expectation of future benefits, in this case, the future income the property will generate. The principle of addition is related to the cost approach to appraisal, where the value of added improvements is considered. It's not directly a principle of the income approach. The income approach focuses on the present value of future income streams, not the cost of adding physical components. Question 1003. Even though he knows the correct boundary line of his property, owner Owen fails to bring a lawsuit to establish title until after neighbor Nathan finishes building a house which encroaches on Owen's property. Owen's suit will be A. Successful, if Owen's property is being encroached upon, B. Barred by the legal doctrine of laches. C. Successful, if Owen can prove Nathan should have known that he was encroaching upon Owen's property. D. Successful, if Owen can prove a reasonable person should have known he was encroaching on Owen's property. Correct answer is B. Barred by the legal doctrine of laches. Laches is an equitable doctrine that prevents someone from asserting a right or claim if they have unreasonably delayed doing so, and that delay has prejudiced, harmed, another party. In this case, Owen knew the boundary line but waited until Nathan built a house that encroached on his property. This delay caused significant harm to Nathan, as he now has a structure built on land that isn't entirely his. Because of Owen's unreasonable delay, the court would likely invoke the doctrine of laches and prevent Owen from forcing Nathan to remove the house. Question 1004. A listing. A tends to set the fair market value of the property. B should be taken at a price much higher than fair market value if that price is what the owner insists upon. C usually reflects the highest price an owner believes he can obtain for his property. D is not of much importance in the success of a real estate broker's business, as he earns commissions only on what the office actually sells. Correct answer is C usually reflects the highest price an owner believes he can obtain for his property. A listing price is typically the price the seller believes they can get for their property. While a good agent will advise the seller on a realistic market price, the final listing price is ultimately the seller's decision. They may choose to list higher than market value, hoping to get a better offer. While the agent can't force the seller to list at a specific price, taking an extremely overpriced listing is generally bad practice. It can lead to the property sitting on the market for a long time, making it harder to sell even at a later price reduction. The agent has a duty to advise the client on a realistic price. Listings attract buyers, leading to sales of those properties and others to clients who didn't buy the original listing. Listings are the lifeblood of a real estate brokerage. Question 1005. The most common type of loan made by institutional lenders is the A. Partially amortized installment note. B. Straight note. C. Fully amortized fixed-rate note. D. Adjustable rate mortgage. Correct answer is C. Fully amortized fixed-rate note. Partially amortized installment note, also known as a balloon payment loan. These loans have regular payments that don't fully amortize the loan, resulting in a large, balloon, payment at the end of the term. While they exist, they are not as common as fully amortized loans. Straight note, also known as a term loan or interest-only loan. With a straight note, the borrower only pays interest during the loan term, with the entire principal due at the end. These are less common for residential mortgages. Adjustable rate mortgages are prevalent, but they are generally not the most common type of loan. The most common loan for residential real estate from institutional lenders is the fully amortized fixed-rate mortgage. Fully amortized means the regular payments, usually monthly, cover both principal and interest. This loan is fully paid off by the end of the loan term. Fixed rate means the interest rate remains the same throughout the loan term, providing predictable monthly payments. These features make fully amortized fixed-rate loans popular with both lenders, due to predictable income streams, and borrowers, due to stable payments.